Okay, thank you very much for participating in one of our interviews. And my name is Chen Yawen, and my check number 20868. We are students from KOH3433 Interpersonal Communication Skills class. Regarding the study for an interpersonal communication course assessment, can I ask a few questions?
Yes.
So we are starting now. What's your name, please?
My name is Zhou Bingyan.
Okay, Binyan, how old is your age?
I'm 20 years old.
Okay, now it's time to ask questions. The first one is, what strategies do you use when working with the opposite sex?
A strategy for relationship building. Let me think about it. If I want to talk about strategy, I may maintain a friendly attitude, such as smiling or something, because it makes me look friendly. I think others will be willing to associate with family and polite people. Then, at the beginning, understand some of the others' background situation and have a general understanding for each other.
Okay, in fact, people often smile to show friendship. So in detail, do you have any nonverbal characteristics in general communication, similar to some body language often made?
Yes, when I talk about happy things, I can't avoid laughing because girls may be shy. I calm my mouth when I laugh, and so I look more reserved. And when I'm listening to others, I look into the eyes for others so that I look more focused and think about it carefully. When I speak, my posture is generally symmetric and more upright. Not only that, I will use to some structural action when I really want to express or describe something.
Okay, understood. It's different in language communication.
I think so. I think I like to use adjective or some modern particle in my speech. Sometimes I get excitedly when I see something cute. On the other hand, I think that compared to the opposite sex, we tend to speak if immediately and implicitly while not using raw language. I often use words for thanks.
Okay, that's women may tend to be euphemistic and emotional. So what about dealing with relationship in interpersonal communication? What will you do to face contradictions?
Mm, when facing conflicts, I will be angry or irrational. Maybe some emotional words were said at that time, but after calming down, I will think about when the problem is and how to solve it. If it's my problem, that it's necessary to apologize to others, sincerely recognize the mistake, and seek forgiveness.
Okay, you're right. This is the approach when facing problem. Based on this question, I would like to know about the interpersonal communication. What do you think is difference in thinking between men and women?
Refer to my last answer. For example, in the face of conflicts, sometimes I may express emotions directly, anger and or sadness, while men may restrain their emotions and are not inclined to express them. At the same time, dealing with contradictions, I think men may look at things more rationally than women.
I understand your point of view. I agree. So coming to the last question, what kind of relationship do you ideally build with others? For example, comfortable or enthusiastic?
According to my personal situation, I tend to build comfortable, long-term relationships. I hope that my relationship can be simple and comfortable so that I can be in relaxed state in any time without too intensive communication and do not want to be out for touch for a long time. Keep in certain disease and the space, so it's very comfortable and enjoy at the same time.
Okay, like your idea very much. A comfortable and free relationship is really attractive. So our interview is over. Thank you very much for your cooperation. Bye.
Welcome, bye.
Hello, good evening. Thank you for attending this interview. In this interview, I will ask you 6 questions about how you get along with others in daily life. Well, begin. Be, before the question begin, I want to know how old you are.
I'm 20.
20. Okay, now let's start this interview. The first question: what strategies do you use when building interpersonal relationship with the opposite sex?
First cut in some from unimportant small things, then talk about something that both parties are interested in, and finally enter the field I'm good at to show my advantages.
Oh, I see. Then, what are your characteristics in nonverbal communication?
I will use some body language and eyes to express my real thoughts, such as some gestures and facial expressions, such as shaking my hands and roll eyes.
Okay, so what's your dream relationship with people?
In my idea, the most perfect interpotential relationship is that people trust each other, make progress together, and give each other enough private space while having close contact.
Oh, I like your answers. So, next, when you have a conflict with the opposite sex, how do you handle it?
I will try my best not to conflict with the opposite sex. If there is a conflict, first of all, I will thinking about whether it is my own problem. Second, I will think about whether there is something wrong with both sides. After everyone calm down, I will solve the conflict together.
Okay, the fifth question: what are your characteristics in the verbal communication habits?
I will adjust my speaking speed because of my mood. The higher my mood is, the faster my speaking speed will be. The lower my mood is, the slower my speaking speed will be.
Okay, the last one. What do you think is the difference between men and women when their way of thinking?
I think men's way of thinking is more rational, while women's ways of thinking is more emotional. Men are more logical when they look at problems, while women are more likely to bring in emotions.
All right, I have recorded your answers and it's very important to me. Thank you again for attending this interview. Good night. Bye.
Bye.
Hello, I'm Liu Xing. My medical number is 2008799. I will conduct an interview about interpersonal communication. The interviewer is my friend Ma Qian. First of all, Ma Qian, I want to know, do you have any strategies regarding interpersonal communication?
In fact, I'm a very shy person and I don't have any support method in interpersonal communication. What I can think of is respect first. Respect the other part in the interaction, which is embodied in listening carefully to the other party's speech when talking, and refraining from offending the other party. The second is to respond the possibility of feedback, because I believe that interpersonal relationships need to be established by both parties. Finally, everyone is different, whether it is personality, hobbies, or three views. So I think mature understanding is also very important.
What you said makes a lot of sense. My second question is, what are your characteristics in language communication?
Maybe it's more tactful. I'm not used to speaking bluntly because I think it's easy to hurt the other person, and it's easy to cause conflicts. In addition, my friend said that my words are verbose, mainly because I'm used to let others get as accurate information as possible. If the experience is very brief, I worry that the other party may not understand it.
Do you have any characteristics in nonverbal communication?
When communicating with people I don't like, I'm not used to looking at each other's eyes. The distance I keep is farther than when I communicate with people I like. Anyone who knows me knows that I have a habit of touching my nose when I'm guilty. So it is difficult for me to lie to people I know well.
That's a very interesting characteristic. The fourth question, when you have a conflict with other people, how will you deal with it?
I will not deal with conflict immediately because I think everyone was very angry at that time. I will wait for our emotion to stabilize and then talk peacefully. Under normal circumstances, if it's my fault, I will take the initiative to apologize. If it's the other party's fault, I will try to make sense. If the other party still thinks it's my problem and want to argue about right or wrong, I might give up. So my friends are basically very reasonable people.
What is your ideal relationship?
We all have the same hobbies. There will always be topics to talk about, and we will not be boring when we are together. And then I hope that our personalities are complementary. We can know each other's strengths and accept each other's shortcomings. You can help each other when you encounter difficulties. Together, we will become better and better and grow together. This is my ideal interpersonal relationship.
Last question. What do you think is the difference in thinking between men and women?
For me, I think men are more focused on result and women are more focused on process. For example, when dealing with some things, women tend to think perceptually pay more attention to the current feelings and express their thoughts. Boys tend to think rationally, put more emphasis on the outcome of things, and follow logic in handling things, so they pay more attention to solving correct problem. In addition, I think that men are very direct in expressions, while women are relatively tactful.
Okay, that is all the question. Thank you, Maqian. Thank you for your answer.
Hello, good afternoon. I'm Aiden. Today I have invited Shu Chen to answer some questions. Let's welcome Shu Chen.
Yeah, I'm glad to invite to me and answer your questions. Yes, you can ask me.
Okay.
You can ask me now.
About the first question, what strategies do you use when building relationships with the opposite sex?
In my opinion, I usually choose to invite her to go to the movies and have dinner together, then go shopping and chat to cultivate our relationship. And then I used an empathic strategy. I made her to protagonist by listening and observing. I was interested in what she said, and I also observed her body language to make her express as much as possible, so that we could understand her how to think and assess her personality and finally communicate in a way she prefers. Yeah, this is math.
Okay, about the last question, what is your nonverbal communication characteristic?
For example, as for me, my friends and I use eyes contact a lot. Because we play together so much, we don't need words to do some things. Our nonverbal use is characterized by strong degrees of reliabilities. Yes, this is my opinions.
Okay, what's your ideal relationship with others?
My ideal relationship with people is that everyone can live in harmony. There is quarrel or war in the world. Yeah.
Okay, when you have a conflict with the opposite sex, how do you deal with it?
Conflict with the opposite sex.
Yeah.
Girls are little babies. We should love them. We should not conflict with them, I think.
Okay, no problem. What are your language communication hobbies?
As for me, I hate to use more words to explain things. I prefer to use short conversation to get everything done. Yeah.
Okay, about the family section, do you think a man and a woman think differently?
I think men tend to be more direct and do whether they want to without thinking about the consequence. However, girls are more deliberate, and they will figure out how to solve the possible consequence and difficulties in the process in advance before they do it.
Okay.
Yeah.
Thank you, Susan. They are all my questions. Thank you for coming.
No problem. Thank you. Have a good day.
Thank you. Have a good day, Susan. Bye.
Bye.
Hello, Lucy. How are you? I'm fine, thank you. Okay, today I have 6 questions. I want to interview you. Are you ready? Yeah. First question is what strategy do you use to build a relationship with the opposite sex? I'm good at listening to others and express my opinion clearly. Others will also exchange opinion and idea with me. Okay. The second question is what are your characteristics in nonverbal communication? I have a variety of non-verbal communication methods, and I can express my opinion accurately. Next question is what's your ideal relationship with the people? I think respecting others and understanding others is the ideal interpersonal relationship. Next question is when you have a conflict with the opposite sex, how do you deal with it? First, I will calm down and think about the conflict point. It's a small detail. I will quickly solve the problem with the opposite sex. Okay. What are your language habits? I think I have a clear communication goals and logic, and I pay attention to detail. I will sort out the logic of matter soon. Last question is, do you think man and woman in the way of the thinking is different? Difference in communication and expression. Men pay attention to overall situation. Women pay attention to details. Men are rational thinking. Women are perceptual thinking. Okay. Thank you for your pay attention.
Hello everyone and doctor. This video is for communication skills for KOH3433, interpersonal communication skills. My name is Zhang Yupu and my match number is 20655. Now I would like to invite my best friend to help me complete this following interview.
Okay, my name is Liu Weibo. I come from China and I'm studying at a university in China. I'm honored to be able to accept this interview.
The first question, what do you think are the 3 different ways you make friends with the opposite sex?
Okay, firstly, when you get along with the opposite sex, you must keep the overall image clean. This is the first impression of others on you, which determines whether others want to continue to communicate with you. So it's very important. Secondly, pay attention to the way you speak. Don't speak something rude. Thirdly, elegant manner, sitting posture, standing posture, which reflects the personal quality. For women, I think women judge whether they are good friends or by their hobbies. And second, women want to be more interactive, whether on social media or in real life. So, third, women pay attention to other people's clothes and first impressions to get to know others.
The second one, what ways do you think you are different from the opposite sex in language communication?
First of all, for men, when communicating, it's more purposeful and will not beat around the bush. And then the communication model may be or castle, now paying special attention to the choice of wording, nor will it beat words. Finally, always share his experiences, no matter how happy or sad. For women, women think about many things when it comes to speaking, and the woman will use different variations of speech, which can be seen as more emotional. Women also, on the other hand, are more prone to using report style. There is more personal information to share.
The third one, what is your ideal relationship with the opposite sex?
I'm very like this question. I'm so interested in this question. When I have difficulties, and hear me to complete some of these things I can through the difficulties. And she also can be a listener who can listen to me when I'm sad, when I'm happy. We can share happiness together and be partners who talk about everything. For female, women make respect priority. Women want to complete each other. Males or females have different strengths and weaknesses. We can learn from each other's strengths.
The next question, how do you differ from the opposite sex in dealing with conflict?
When we will choose to solve the problem quickly and come up with a solution. Men choose to face conflict head on, but for female, they will stay in conflict for a long time, and the negative emotions will last for a long time. The emotion will be rich. Women would recognize more with these individuals.
What do you think is the differences between your and women in nonverbal communication?
Men will reduce eye contact. They are more inclined to listen. Male sitting posture will try to occupy space. They will spare their legs and relax in the surrounding space. Men will reduce facial expression and only nod their heads to show agreement. But for female, women make more eye contact. Women sitting posture will try to reduce the space occupied. They cross their legs. Women will have more facial expressions, nodding and smiling.
The last one, what do you think are the differences between men and women in thinking or something like man?
On average, while men are likely to have better motor and spatial skills, men are more rational thinkers. When men do something, they think about how to complete to task quickly and efficiently. But for women likely to have better verbal memory. Women have more emotion thinking. When women finish a scene, they think about how to make it perfect rather than rush it. In general, I think that men are often better at hiding their emotions, while women are more likely to show emotions on their faces. Women are better at reading a person's reactions, using verb and the verbal signals to understand the whole picture.
Okay, thank you for your answer. Thank you.